Good day, one and all. My name is Kathy, and welcome to this episode of the Scrap and Crafty Gardener. Today, I am making a card based on the paper pattern that you chose for me to use. This was pattern A. This is a black with pink stars and gold stars. And of course, it has a smudge on it. So this is the paper I'm going to use. I'm going to try and make two cards, but I'm definitely going to make one. If I have time, I'll make one at the end for you. I chose a white card base, 10 inches by 7 inches, scored it at the 5-inch line, fold it, crease it with your bone folder. And then I have a piece of pink cardstock. This is from Joann Fabrics. I think it's from Recollections. It's 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. And then I just have a 1/4 inch scrap of gold mirror cardstock. Those colors went nicely together. So I'm going to start by cutting this paper. And I'm just going to cut it down at this end that has the paper in it. I'm going to cut it at 4 3/4 because I want it to be the same width as my card. Okay, save that for the second card. Now, I want to put this on here. Let me get my ruler. I think I want to use a 3 1/4 inch piece of this. 3 1/4. And then I want just to, let's see if I can get a 1/4 inch strip here. I did it. All right. Now, this is going to be the front of my card, but I'm going to emboss this because half of this is going to be the pattern and the other thing is going to be a design. So I've got this Cuttlebug, a really old diamond pattern, and I'm going to just emboss, and I only need to emboss half of it. But actually, I'm going to do the whole thing because that way the pattern will be going this way. So on my Anna Griffin machine, I just need my A plate, the metal shim folder, and the other A plate. Let me run that through real quick. Okay. And that gives a nice textured appearance to the card. All right. So now this piece I want to put down right there, but I want to edge it with the metal strip. So I'm going to glue this down to the paper first because I want just a very narrow strip of this gold showing on each side. Just a very, very narrow strip. I don't want it to be too wide. It's about probably about 1/8 of an inch showing. Okay. Get that even. I'm going to trim that off. And I'm going to do the same to the other side. And I'm going to try and get them as even as I can. It's just a little decorative edge to that. So it doesn't have to be perfect. All right. Now, just get a wet wipe and clean up the glue. Now, because this is elevated, I want to put this on here, but I'm going to put it down with some foam tape so that it has a little bit of give. And that will also help hold the metal strips on. And I'm just going to do 2 in the middle. just like that. Okay. Now this I wanted to put over here, but I'm not sure I'm going to like that there, but I do. Let's see if I have another. Yeah, I have another strip of this gold. I wonder if I just glued that down. Oh yes, that'll look fine. I'm just going to glue that right down to the center of that strip, so that this piece can also have the gold. Great way to use up scraps. You can use it as a decorative accent. Okay. Now this one, since it's smaller, I can glue this one down flat. And I want to have the juxtaposition of the two, one being higher than the other. And I'm just going to hold that for a minute. Let's see. I don't see my acrylic block, so I'm just going to use my large acrylic block just to hold that down so the glue catches. All right. Now, where did I put it? There we go. And let's see. Let's get these scraps of paper off to the side over here. Now I cut a little flag, and it got some smushy on it, so I need to cut another flag. Gonna put you on hold while I cut that. Okay, I'm back. I've cut that out. I've got a piece of cat hair there. This I use GinaK's Master Layouts 8. This is just a little flag, and I'm going to stamp a sentiment on here. And I'm going to stamp two things at once. Let me just, yeah, that's done well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on my card base right now and let it sit while I get the rest of this card done. Okay, and then I put that right on top of there again. I'm going to get a scrap of white paper, and I'm going to stamp on here and on the sentiment. So let me get my stamping platform. All right. Now on the flag, I'm going to use this flowering friendship. And I like this. It's the friends we meet along the way that help us appreciate the journey. So I want to stamp that on there. And from the Elegant Thoughts from GinaK, I want to put Hello Friend. And I don't need a very big piece, so I'm just going to stamp it right there. Now, I have not used the Journey one, so I need to condition that stamp, and that just means rubbing your finger across to get off the coating from the factory. And I'm going to stamp with the VersaFine Clair Nocturne, of course, one of my favorite blacks, because it's so versatile for all my different stamping. That's perfect. Okay, clean those off. That one back here where it belongs. And this one back on that set where that belongs. Now I'm going to cut this one out. Just got to get the die that goes with that. I haven't put them on the magnet yet. I'm thinking that's the one right there. I still have to get more organized. You ever get that way? You start to get organized and then you just get overwhelmed with organizing everything, and so you stop. right on there. Move it down. Okay. Pop that out. Set that scrap aside because I'll probably use that for the next card. Okay. Now, this one that I had cut out already and got ink smeared on, I'm not going to throw that away. I'm just going to glue that to the back of this to give a little bit more dimension. And as you can see, I used that scrap of white to color on the back before. And now no one will know, except for those who watch this video. And I want to put this right there in the middle of that. And then hello friend, I think I want to put down here. Let's see. Yeah, I think right there. Now I'm going to use some thin foam strips for that one. A lot of little dimension to this card. Okay, and I think just a few little embellishments. It's not going to be my favorite card of the day. I think my next one's going to be. I'm going to take some of these little golden pearls and add them right to the card. It's more than I wanted, but I try to be random, but it never goes that way. Oh, that one stuck to my finger. Okay, that's card number one. Just a simple card showcasing that paper. And on to the next. Okay, a little bit more involved in the next one, I think. I've chosen a pink card, the same pink that I used. And I have a piece of white 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 that's going to go right on the inside to start with. Then I have a piece of black that is 6 3/8 by 4 3/8. And then I have another piece of white 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 that I'm going to do my design on and then cut this down to fit. All right, these scraps I am going to cut into 1.5 inch strips. And I think, let me see. Yeah, I can go this way. So I want to use up as much as I can of the piece that has the paper tear on it. Okay, now I'm going to take these and cut them in half to make diamonds, elongated diamonds. And I don't need a whole lot. So I think I'm going to have more of this paper that I can use on other cards offline. All right, and then I have a piece of this pink. These are what was left over when I cut off a card. And I don't think I need all of them. These are 1.5 inch strips. So I'm also going to cut these down in half. And it's just, you take the left corner and cut to the right corner. Or right to the left, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you stay consistent with your cuts. Okay. Let's see if I have enough. I want the black to be coming down. So I'm going to start in this corner. I'm just going to make and this will let me know if I need to cut more. Ooh, I think this is going to work. Yes, it's going to work. So, all right. So I'm starting in this corner, and I'm just going to glue these down. So really what I need to do is just take glue and put all over the back. Now, if you have double-sided tape, you could just put double-sided tape down on this piece. You could put it on each strip, but you're going to glue this whole paper, so you might as well put your glue on here. And try not to make a mess. So I'm starting in this corner. This is nothing, not a new design by any stretch of the imagination. But it's just a way to showcase if you have some pretty pattern paper. Well, don't get the glue bottle in there. Well, now that's going too straight. So let's see. What did I do different? Well, that one's glued down. So this is just going to be a different angle. Things don't always go as planned. Get that one moved over a little bit more before it's stuck down permanently. And I'm just going to cut off this pink down here and use that right in that corner. All right. Now it's hard to tell which way this is going. I'm going to pick this up and cut off all the tails. I have my large scissors over here. I do not, so I'll use my small scissors. And then you can use all these little leftover pieces to make another card or to make a decoration for the inside of your card. Okay, now I need to cut out this front. I'm going to just put all these pieces up here and get my die. And the piece came off down here. So let's add a little bit more glue. And of course, the bottom decides it's running on low. Come on. Oh, there we go. Now it's got too much glue. Now this is GinaK's Master Layouts 8. This is a small stitch die. And I'm going to cut that out. Since that was a little thicker, just have to gently peel it off. And there we have a real pretty front. Okay, now I have a piece of vellum. And I cut this vellum a little bit longer than my card front. It's 8 1/4 inches, but that's not important. I cut this at 1 1/4 inches wide. And this is going to go right across the bottom like that. And I'm going to just tape it down. I'm just going to use plain old Scotch tape. Get it where I want it. Fold it over. Give it a good crease. You can use your scissor handle to crease. Then I'm going to use another piece of that gold strip, and I want to put it right across the center. And I'm also going to wrap this one around. You don't need to, but I'm going to. And I'm also going to put just one little, I'm going to use a mini glue dot here, just to put it on and hold it down while I am taping it into place so that it doesn't slide all over the place. And I'm just going to fold it over and tape it again. Scotch tape comes in very handy in the craft room. And of course, where did I? Oh, well, it's not here. So I'm just going to, what am I going to put it down with? The foam tape. Because I'm going to pop this up on the back. Sounded like I thought the Scotch tape went down to the floor, but I don't see it. Okay. Now this is going to go on the front here, and I did shift a little bit. Yeah, and it just broke on that end. That's okay. So I do need to glue that down. Sometimes the paper splits, like it just did. And I just take a little glue and hold that down for just a minute. A little bit of glue to give me some wiggle room. That's centered on that black piece. This is going to go on my card front. Don't worry, I'm going to add a little bit of white and some color here. And that will go down in the center. All right, let me set those off to the side. And I I have this die that makes, they're like ferns or leaves, but it's not a leaf. I cut one of those out in white. And then I have Spellbinders flowers that I cut out in white also. That one's got a little extra piece on it. I'm just going to ink the edges of these up just the littlest bit with some Dusty Rose. And I'm going to use that scrap piece of paper. I just want the edges of the flower. Now, if you have paper flowers or silk flowers that are already made, you could use that to add to this card. And now this one, I'm adding the color all the way across. The Dusty Rose kind of matched the color of the pink. Now this, I'm going to glue down, and I'm going to put one of those glue dots behind the vellum, right where that flower's going, just to hold that down a little bit. And then this I want to glue down as best as I can. I don't know where this particular die came from. This was acquired before I really started recognizing the importance of dies, because some people would want to know, well, where did you get that die? And it used to be, if I liked it, I grabbed it. So that's going to go here. And I'm just going to glue that down. Now I've got, for the big flower, I'm going to take one of these little round dots that are, they're about 1/8 of an inch in height. And I'm just going to put that on the back and in the center so that this petal sticks up higher than the card base. And that's going to go right here. And then I just have some larger dots that I can use for the other one. This one's going to go down flat. Now for the next one, I'm going to just curl my petals up just a little, or curl these ones under. Just taking the back of your scissors or some object like a pencil or anything sharp, just to kind of curl them like you would do curling ribbon for Christmas. And this one I'm going to pop up with one of those dots so that it kind of goes down. Now this one I'm going to curl up. And I'm going to use a flat mini dot on this, because I wanted to add some dimension, but I don't want to add so much dimension that it won't fit in an envelope to mail it. Okay. And in the center, I'm going to just add a rhinestone here in a minute, but I want to add a sentiment to this one. I'm going to put you on hold while I get my rhinestones and my sentiment. Okay, I am back. I want to put just a very, very small greeting on here, kind of here. And I have this, have a beautiful birthday from Hero Arts. This is the dress up Stampin' Cut. So I just want to use that. Have a beautiful birthday. Is that the right one? Yeah, right there. Have a beautiful birthday. So I'm going to stamp that on the other end of this. Just use my VersaFine Claire Nocturne. Trying to do this backwards. That came out perfect. All right. Just set that right there for now. Now I'm going to cut this out. I have a very tiny rectangle. I'm not even sure what set this die came from. I tend to separate out my items, and I wasn't always marking down where they came from. Like I have all my rectangles together, all my birthday stuff together. At least that's the goal. But now I'm trying to write down where they came from. Okay. So I have just that little bit of a stamp that I'm going to put right there on that card. And then add a little bit more bling. Okay. I'm going to pop that up with some foam strips. Oh, don't have the foam strips. I think these circles will fit back here. Yep. I think this is my favorite of the two cards. And I'm thinking if I'd have had a little bit of white even on the strips, it would have been even better. I want that just to go over that. Now I'm going to add, I have this pastel pink rhinestone. I want to put a big one in the middle. And then I'm going to take just a little bit of gold stickles. No, I want to do liquid pearls. No stickles. I'm going to do my brass. Just on these little spots on this floral vine design, just like that. And I don't think it needs any more than that. So that is my second card. Card number 1, card number 2, and I still have quite a nice selection of that paper to make more cards with. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for choosing paper A, and have a great day, and I'll see you next week.